October 1998. The small town of Milford, Iowa, was experiencing the last days of autumn. Yellow and red leaves covered the streets and sidewalks. As evening descended, a cold wind began to blow through the empty streets. 17-year-old Amit stood in the school parking lot with his friends Ryan, Sophia, and Jake. Halloween was only 3 days away, and the air was thick with anticipation and teenage bravado. Jake leaned against his truck with a mischievous grin spreading across his face. "So, who's actually going?" he asked, his voice challenging. Sophia shifted nervously, wrapping her jacket tighter around herself. "Seriously? To that place? You know what happened there, right?" Ryan shrugged, trying to appear braver than he felt. "It's all just rumors. I don't believe in any of that ghost nonsense." Amit stood quietly, listening. He knew exactly which place they were talking about. 20 miles outside town, just off Highway 63, stood the abandoned farmhouse. The locals called it the Holloway House, and nobody went there anymore, not after what happened. "Tell the story again," Amit said, his curiosity getting the better of him. Jake's eyes lit up. He loved telling this story. "All right, listen. In 1972, a family lived there. A father, mother, and 3 kids. Normal family, kept to themselves mostly. One night, neighbors saw smoke coming from the property and called the police, thinking there was a fire. But when the police arrived, there was no fire, no smoke, nothing." He paused for dramatic effect. "When they entered the house, they found the entire family sitting at the dining table. All 5 of them, dead. No wounds, no signs of violence, no poison. The autopsies couldn't find anything wrong with them. It was like they just stopped living. All at the exact same moment." Sophia hugged herself tighter. "That's not even the worst part," she whispered. "She's right," Jake continued. "After that, the house sat empty. But people who went inside reported strange things. Lights when there was no electricity, sounds of footsteps, voices. In 1985, 2 teenagers broke in on a dare. One of them was found 3 days later in a coma. He never woke up, still in a state hospital somewhere. The other one ran out screaming. He never spoke again, not a single word. He just sits in his room, drawing the same thing over and over, a long dark hallway that goes on forever." The parking lot fell silent. A cold breeze rustled the fallen leaves around their feet. "To this day," Jake finished, "nobody knows what killed that family, and the house still stands there, waiting." Ryan broke the silence with a forced laugh. "Like I said, all rumors and urban legends. I'll prove it. This Saturday night, midnight, I'm going." "I'm in," Jake said immediately. They all turned to look at Amit. He felt their eyes on him, felt the weight of the challenge. Every logical part of his brain screamed at him to say no. But he was 17, and 17-year-olds don't back down from dares. After a long breath, he nodded. "Fine, I'll go too." Sophia groaned. "You're all idiots, but I'm coming too because someone needs to keep you 3 from doing something completely stupid." Saturday night arrived faster than Amit expected. At 11 p.m., he climbed quietly out of his bedroom window. His parents were asleep, completely unaware their son was sneaking out to explore the most haunted location in the county. Ryan's old Chevrolet truck waited at the end of the street, headlights off to avoid attracting attention. Amit jogged over and climbed into the back seat next to Sophia. "I still think this is a terrible idea," Sophia said as soon as he closed the door. "Then why did you come?" Jake asked from the passenger seat. "Because you 3 morons would definitely get yourselves killed without me," she shot back. Ryan started the engine. The sound seemed impossibly loud in the quiet suburban street. He pulled away slowly, heading toward the highway. As they drove, the town lights faded behind them. The highway stretched out dark and empty ahead. On either side, vast fields of harvested corn created an ocean of darkness. Above, stars filled the sky in a way they never did in town. 5 more miles, Ryan announced, his voice tense. Amit stared out the window. An uncomfortable feeling settled in his stomach. It felt like they were being watched, like something in those dark fields knew they were coming. There, Sophia suddenly pointed ahead. They all saw it. About 100 yards off the right side of the road stood the farmhouse, 2 stories tall, windows dark and broken, the front porch sagging on one side, paint peeled from the wooden walls. The whole structure looked like it might collapse at any moment. But the strangest thing was the complete absence of trees or vegetation around the house. The surrounding field was bare, dead. Even weeds didn't grow there. It was as if nature itself avoided the place. Ryan pulled the truck onto the shoulder and killed the engine. The sudden silence was absolute. No crickets, no wind, no birds, nothing. "Last chance to turn back," Sophia whispered. "No way, we came this far," Jake said, opening his door. They all climbed out. The night air was cold and completely still. Amit grabbed his flashlight from his backpack. The others did the same, their beams cutting through the darkness. As they walked toward the house, their footsteps crunched on dead grass. The closer they got, the heavier the air felt. Amit's sense of unease grew with every step. The porch steps creaked dangerously under their weight. Jake reached for the front door, his hand trembling slightly despite his earlier bravado. The door was unlocked. It swung open with a long, agonized creak. They stepped inside. The flashlight beams revealed a living room frozen in time, a torn, moldy sofa, wallpaper peeling in long strips, a thick layer of dust covered everything. But something was wrong. Something was missing. "There are no spider webs," Sophia said quietly, her voice shaking. "How is there not a single spider web? This place has been abandoned for 26 years. Amit realized she was right. No spiders, no insects, no mouse droppings, no signs of animal life at all. The house was dead in a way that wasn't natural. They moved deeper inside. The dining room appeared before them, and they all stopped. A wooden table sat in the center, and 4 chairs were positioned around it. Plates were set out, as if waiting for dinner guests who would never arrive. "This is the table," Jake whispered. "Where they found them." Ryan stepped closer to the table, then he froze. Do you guys feel that?" His voice cracked. That's when Amit felt it too. A heaviness in the air, like the atmosphere had suddenly become thicker. Breathing became difficult, and there was a smell, faint but disturbing, like decay but not quite, something worse. "We should leave," Sophia said urgently. Then they heard it. From upstairs, from the second floor. Thump, thump, thump. Footsteps. Someone was walking up there. All 4 of them froze, their flashlight beams shooting toward the ceiling. The footsteps stopped. "Just the wind," Ryan said, but his voice betrayed his fear. "Wind doesn't make footsteps," Jake replied. "We need to go. Now," Sophia insisted. But Amit noticed something. In the corner of the living room, a narrow corridor led into darkness. It seemed to stretch impossibly far. "Where does that go?" Amit asked. "The basement," Jake answered. "I looked up the old floor plans of this house." The footsteps started again, louder this time, closer, like someone descending stairs. "Run!" Sophia screamed. They all turned toward the front door, but then something impossible happened. The door they had entered through slammed shut with tremendous force. Bang! At the same instant, every window in the house slammed closed simultaneously. Amit ran to the door and pulled on the handle. He pushed. He threw his shoulder against it. Nothing. It wouldn't budge. "We're trapped," he shouted. Suddenly, all 4 flashlights died at exactly the same moment. Complete darkness enveloped them. In the pitch black, they could only hear each other's panicked breathing. "Turn on your flashlights," Ryan yelled. "I'm trying. It's not working," Jake responded frantically. Then a light appeared, but not from their flashlights. It came from the narrow corridor, a faint greenish glow, pulsing slowly like a heartbeat, like something breathing. "What is that?" Sophia's voice trembled. Amit stared at the corridor. In the eerie light, it looked impossibly long, as if it stretched into infinity. Then they heard a voice, a whisper that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "Come. Down." The words seemed to emanate from the walls, the floor, the air itself. "Come down, below." "It's calling us," Jake said, his earlier confidence completely gone. "We're not going anywhere near that," Ryan said firmly. Amit tried to break a window. He picked up a chair and threw it as hard as he could. The chair bounced off as if hitting an invisible wall and clattered back onto the floor. "We can't get out," Amit said, desperation creeping into his voice. The whisper came again, louder. "Only one way down." The green light from the corridor grew brighter, pulsing faster. Sophia started crying. "I can't stay here. I can't." Amit made a decision. Okay, we go down, together. We stay together and face whatever this is. It's the only way out. Are you insane? Ryan shouted. Do you have a better plan? Silence. Let's go, Jake said quietly. Everyone stays together. Nobody separates. Agreed? They all nodded, though no one could see it in the dark. Holding hands, the four of them entered the corridor. The green light illuminated strange writings on the walls, scratched into the plaster. The same words repeated over and over. Help. Run. They are here. Don't listen. The corridor seemed to go on forever. They walked for what felt like 5 minutes, which was impossible. The house wasn't that large. Finally, they reached a staircase descending into deeper darkness. The green light came from below. Amit took the first step. The wooden stair creaked under his weight. 1 step, 2, 5, 10, 15, 20. How many stairs could possibly lead to a basement? When they finally reached the bottom, what they found wasn't a basement. It was a vast chamber. The ceiling was impossibly high. The walls were stone, ancient-looking, covered in strange symbols. In the center of the room was a circle drawn on the floor. Intricate symbols surrounded it. 5 candles were placed around the circle's perimeter, burning with green flames. But the most terrifying thing was in the center of the circle. A chair. And sitting in that chair was a figure. It had a human shape, but it was wrong. Too tall, too thin. Its head tilted at an unnatural angle. What is that? Sophia whispered. The figure moved. Its head turned slowly toward them with a sound like cracking branches. It had no face, just smooth, pale skin where features should have been. A voice entered their minds, not through their ears, but directly into their thoughts. Finally, new visitors. Oh God, Ryan stepped backward. The figure stood. It was impossibly tall, nearly 8 feet. Its arms hung at its sides, too long, joints bending in wrong directions. Years, I have waited. For food. Food, Jake repeated weakly. That's when Amit saw them, in the far corners of the chamber, partially hidden in shadow. Bones. Human skeletons. 10, maybe 12 of them. Scraps of clothing still clinging to some. Different styles from different eras. Some very old, some much newer. The teenagers from 1985, the family from 1972. Others. You cannot escape, the figure said, its voice echoing in their skulls. This place is my trap. Those who enter, stay, forever. No! Amit screamed. He ran toward where the stairs had been, but they were gone, just a smooth stone wall. The figure made a sound, a horrible approximation of laughter that made their teeth ache and their skin crawl. Nowhere to go. You will die here, slowly, and I will feed on your fear, your despair, your life. Sophia collapsed to the floor, sobbing. Jake and Ryan pounded on the walls, screaming for help that wouldn't come. But Amit was studying the circle. The figure stood inside it. It hadn't stepped outside the boundary. It's a trap, Amit said suddenly. The circle. It's trapping you, not us. The figure stopped moving. The family in 1972, Amit continued, his mind racing. They trapped you. They drew this circle and sealed you inside. They gave their lives to create this seal. Clever, human child. The figure's voice oozed with hatred. But you made a mistake. You came inside. Now you are trapped with me. You will die here, of hunger, of thirst, of madness. And I will savor every moment. But you can't hurt us, Amit said, understanding dawning. You can only keep us here. Ryan looked at Amit. So what? We're still trapped. Amit examined the circle carefully. 5 candles, 5 points, a pentagram. The candles, he said, they're part of the seal. If we extinguish them, no, the figure roared, and for the first time, they heard fear in its voice. Do not touch the candles. Now Amit was certain. If we put out the candles, the seal breaks. You'll be free. Then what? Jake asked desperately. Then we run. The stairs will return when the seal breaks. The magic of this place will end. That's insane, Ryan shouted. Do we have any other choice? Amit yelled back. Sophia looked up, wiping her eyes. Do it. Whatever you're going to do, just do it. Amit took a deep breath. Then he ran to the first candle. "No, no, no," the figure shrieked. Amit blew out the candle. Immediately, the entire chamber began to shake. Stones fell from the ceiling. Cracks appeared in the walls. "Hurry!" Amit screamed. Jake ran to the second candle and extinguished it. Ryan got the third. Cracks appeared in the circle on the floor, glowing with that sickly green light. The figure reached the edge of the circle. One impossibly long arm began to extend through the barrier. Fingers like white branches, nails like black talons. Sophia ran toward the fourth candle, but the figure's hand shot out and grabbed her ankle. "Ah!" she screamed in pain. Amit pulled her free. 5 burn marks in the shape of fingers marked her skin. "The last candle," Jake shouted. They all ran together toward the 5th and final candle. The figure was almost completely out of the circle now. Its full form was visible, a nightmare made flesh. Too tall, too thin, limbs that bent wrong, that pale, smooth head turning to track them. Amit reached the candle and blew it out. The green flame died. Instantly, a deafening crack echoed through the chamber. The circle shattered, and where there had been only wall, the staircase reappeared. "Run!" Amit screamed. All 4 of them sprinted toward the stairs. Behind them, the figure released a sound that was neither human nor animal, a shriek of rage and hunger that made their ears bleed and their vision blur. They took the stairs 3 at a time, stumbling, helping each other up. Behind them, they could hear it coming. Footsteps that didn't sound like feet hitting stone. They reached the corridor and ran. The walls seemed to pulse and breathe around them. The scratched words on the walls now read only one thing, repeated endlessly. "Run, run, 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 run." The living room appeared ahead. The front door stood wide open, moonlight streaming in. They burst through the door, across the porch, down the steps. Sophia stumbled, but Ryan caught her. They ran across the dead field toward the truck. Ryan fumbled with his keys, hands shaking so badly he could barely hold them. Finally, the engine roared to life. He threw it into gear, and the truck peeled out, tires kicking up dirt and gravel. Amit looked back at the farmhouse. Every window glowed with that terrible green light, and standing in the doorway, watching them go, was the figure, perfectly still, just watching. As they sped away, Amit could swear he heard words in his mind one last time. "Thank you for freeing me." The next morning, police arrived at the farmhouse responding to the teenagers' report. But they found nothing unusual, just an old abandoned house, dusty and empty. The basement contained only old boxes and broken furniture, no circle, no candles, no bones. The doctor who examined Sophia's ankle was puzzled by the burns. 3rd degree in a pattern that resembled fingers, but no human fingers were that long. The 4 friends insisted their story was true, but no one believed them. The town decided they had taken drugs or experienced some kind of mass hallucination. But Amit, Ryan, Sophia, and Jake knew the truth. They knew what was in that house, and they knew they had made a terrible mistake. That night, when Amit finally fell asleep from exhaustion, he dreamed. He saw the green light, the long corridor, and he heard the voice, "You freed me, and soon I will find you, one by one, to thank you properly." 1 week later, news spread through Milford. The old farmhouse had burned down, completely destroyed. The strange part was that the fire burned with green flames, and it was so intense that firefighters couldn't get close. They had to let it burn itself out. Now only scorched earth remains where the house once stood. Nothing grows there. The ground is black and dead. But locals say if you go there at night, you can still hear something. A voice from beneath the ground, "Come down, come down, come down." And sometimes, on certain nights when the moon is dark, the earth glows with a faint green light, as if something is still there, waiting. And in the months that followed, strange things began happening in Milford. People reported seeing a tall, thin figure in their peripheral vision. There one moment, gone the next, always watching. Amit still wakes up some nights, covered in sweat, certain that something is standing at the foot of his bed. Something tall and thin, with no face. He knows the truth that haunts him every day. They didn't escape that night. They released something far worse than death. And it's still out there, waiting, watching, hungry.